Creatine is the most researched supplement in the history of sports science. Hundreds of studies, decades of data. And still, most people have no idea what it actually does. They think it's a steroid, they think it wrecks your kidneys, they think it just makes you puffy. So let's walk through what creatine really is, what the research actually shows, and who it genuinely helps. First, what it is. Creatine is not a hormone, and it's not a steroid. It's a compound your body already makes, about a gram a day, in your liver and kidneys. You also eat it. It's in red meat and fish, roughly 1 to 2 grams per pound. So if you eat meat, you're already taking creatine. You've been taking it your whole life. Now here's where it gets interesting. 95% of the creatine in your body is stored in your muscles, and it's stored for one very specific job. Your muscles run on a molecule called ATP. Think of ATP as the only currency your muscles accept. Every contraction, every rep, every sprint, paid for in ATP. The problem is, your muscles only hold a few seconds worth. About 10 seconds of all-out effort, and the wallet is empty, so your body has a backup. Stored creatine grabs onto a spare phosphate and hands it over to rebuild ATP, almost instantly. That's the entire mechanism. Creatine is a phosphate donor. It refills your energy currency faster. Here's the key insight. Most people's muscles are only about 60 to 80% saturated with creatine. Supplementing tops off that tank. A fuller tank means you rebuild ATP a little faster between efforts, which means on your last set, when you'd normally fail at 8 reps, you get 9, maybe 10. And that's it. That's the whole effect. Which brings us to the biggest misunderstanding. Creatine does not build muscle. It never has. What it does is let you do slightly more work. And more work, repeated over months, is what builds muscle. Creatine isn't the construction crew. It's the extra hour of daylight. So, what does the research actually show? Across dozens of trials, people supplementing creatine alongside resistance training gain modestly more muscle and strength than people training without it. The typical edge is a few extra pounds of lean mass over several weeks and a meaningful bump in strength. That's a real effect. But it's an edge, not a transformation. It only exists on top of consistent training. Now, the water thing. Creatine is osmotically active. It pulls water into your muscle cells. So, in the first week or two, the scale often goes up 2 to 4 pounds. That is not fat. It's water, and critically, it's water inside the muscle, not under your skin. So it doesn't make you look soft or puffy. If anything, it makes muscles look fuller. But it does mean the scale becomes useless for a couple of weeks. Expect it and don't panic. Then there's loading. You've probably heard you need a loading phase, a big dose for the first week. Studies show loading does saturate your muscles faster, in about a week instead of a month. But the endpoint is identical. Loading gets you there sooner. A smaller daily amount gets you to the exact same place, just slower, and usually with less stomach upset. Neither is wrong. It's a question of patience. What about form? There are dozens on the shelf. Hydrochloride, ethyl ester, buffered, liquid. Every one of them is marketed as superior. When they've been tested head-to-head against plain creatine monohydrate, none has convincingly beaten it. Monohydrate is the one with the mountain of evidence behind it, and it's usually the cheapest thing on the shelf. That's a rare situation in supplements. Now the safety questions, because they come up constantly. The kidney concern traces back to a single case report from the 1990s. Since then, controlled studies in healthy people, some running for years, have not found kidney damage. It does raise creatinine in your blood, which is a marker doctors use to estimate kidney function. So a routine blood test can look alarming when nothing is actually wrong. Worth mentioning to your doctor that you take it. And if you have existing kidney issues, that's a conversation for them, not for a video. The hair loss idea comes from one small study in rugby players that found a rise in a hormone linked to hair loss. It measured the hormone. It never measured any actual hair loss. Follow-up work hasn't replicated it. It's a single thread, not a verdict. One more thing worth knowing. Roughly 20 to 30% of people are what researchers call non-responders. Usually it's because their muscles are already close to fully saturated, often people who eat a lot of red meat. There's nothing wrong with them. There's just no room left in the tank. So, the bottom line. Creatine is not magic, and it's not dangerous. It's a well-understood compound that refills your energy currency slightly faster so you can do slightly more work. Over months, that extra work adds up to real muscle and real strength. It's one of the few supplements where the evidence genuinely matches the hype. As long as the hype is honest about how small and how slow the edge really is. The supplement doesn't do the work. It just lets you do a little more of it.